Good day, everyone. Welcome to Real Conservative Headline News. I'm your host, Nathaniel Rajkumar. Starting off locally here in Trinidad and Tobago. On Monday, the TTT Limited family welcomed some very special guests who traveled from overseas to visit our country and the channel, the station. The enthusiastic students of the Guyana-based Christianburg-Wismar Secondary School visited TTT Limited for a better understanding of the various departments and how they come together to deliver the best products to our viewers and listeners across our platforms. Welcomed warmly by the acting CEO Kimoy Thomas Williams, the group made their way through various departments, seeing and experiencing firsthand the equipment that is used daily and speaking to the professionals who work hard behind the scenes and in front of the camera. According to Cape teacher at the school, Odessa James, having these types of experiences is very important. TTT, something, the channel that I've known since I was a child back in the 80s. That was the only station that we had here in Trinidad and Tobago. Don't go anywhere yet. There's more local, regional, and international news up next. Minister of Transport and Civil Aviation, Eli Zakur. Kamala needs to get rid of him, remove him from his position as Minister of Transportation. But nevertheless, getting back to what I said, the Minister of Transport and Civil Aviation, Eli Zakur, has confirmed that the Blue Wave Harmony is nearing the end of its sea trials, with completion expected by the end of February 2026, pending final safety and operational checks. As he responded to a question in the Senate on behalf of the acting Prime Minister and Minister of Works and Infrastructure, Jerlin John, Minister Zakur confirmed that a sailing schedule will be published on Friday. Regional news up next.
Night berthing exercises are due to commence tomorrow, February 25th, 2026, as part of the final evaluation stage, after which a vessel is expected to transition into full commercial and passenger operations. A regularized sailing program is being prepared, and consistent with established practice, the schedule will be published this Friday, providing at least 1 week of confirmed sailings at a time. The government, the Port Authority of Trinidad and Tobago, and NITCO remain focused on a safe and efficient service for the people and businesses of Tobago.
Member of Parliament for East Kingstown in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dwight Fitzgerald Bramble, has reiterated the government's position that public servants who undermine the NDP administration will not be tolerated. Bramble made the statement amid ongoing concerns from NDP supporters questioning why some positions within the public service continue to be held by individuals believed to be aligned with the ULP party. Speaking at a community meeting hosted by the Member of Parliament for West St. George in Dorsetshire Hill on Saturday evening, Bramble said he takes serious issue with any public servant who undermines the work of the government. And that's definitely, rest assured, that's definitely taking place even here in Trinidad and Tobago, even though Kamala Persad did a lot of house cleaning. I'm telling you, even when it pertains to that situation where the two vessels going on between Trinidad and Jamaica, Tobago, ended up just getting damaged, supposedly damaged or whatsoever. I keep wondering, I keep questioning if that was intentional. Was that sabotage? I could be wrong, huh? Could have been definitely just a coincidence, of course.
This issue with public servants and being political and allowing that to hamper your work and your duty to the people of this country, I have a serious problem with that. A real serious problem. And I am saying categorically, who want vex is their problem. If there's any public servant who is acting outside of their professional responsibility, whether intentional or not, to undermine the New Democratic Party government, they will not be there. Plain and simple. You can't be there. I know the leader of the opposition come and talk about, oh, civil service orders and ministers can't hire and fire and all this sort of stuff. The buck stops with us. The people elected us to do their business. And if there are persons in the government service employed as public servants who are going to be derelict in their duty because the civil service orders clearly indicates how you should conduct yourself as a public servant. If you go outside of that, there must be consequences. Come on. We need to stop hiding behind this nonsense about, oh, NDP going to victimize. Nobody victimizing anybody. If you go and undermine our government, there will be consequences. Plain and simple.
An urgent audit of water storage at hospitals, schools, and police stations in Jamaica has been ordered as the government braces for significantly below normal rainfall between April and June. Although I see videos, I watch videos, individuals from Jamaica all the time, native videos, and they speak about how there's so much rain in Jamaica, but I guess not this year. The directive was issued Tuesday by Matthew Samuda, Minister of Water, Environment and Climate Change, following a review of the country's water system. The ministry said the Drought Management Committee, a subcommittee of the Integrated Water Resource Management Council, met to conduct a comprehensive assessment of the country's water resources and the escalated impact of reduced rainfall for national systems. Thankfully, so far, we are having quite a dry season here in Trinidad and Tobago, at least in Trinidad. According to the Meteorological Services branch, the early rainfall period typically experienced between April and June is expected to be significantly below normal this year. ExxonMobil has announced its commitment of US $100 million, that's a lot of money, to a new science, technology, engineering, and mathematics initiative in Guyana. I'm telling you, everything is just coming together wonderfully for Guyana. I'm really happy. My grandfather would have been so proud of his country of birth. Describing it as a transformational investment in the country's human capital and long-term development, President Dr. Ali on Monday said the funding will support a central pillar of the government's strategy to equip the next generation of Guyanese with the skills needed for 2050 and beyond. Trust defines the bond between Parliament and the electorate. Minister of Educational Transformation and St. James North MP Chad Blackburn told the House on Tuesday, arguing that Barbadians vote on the strength of party platforms, policies, and principles. That's what I say here in Trinidad and Tobago as well. Vote based on performance and policy. He said upholding that trust is critical to protecting the integrity of Parliament as members debated the constitutional amendment bill. Thing about it is, what I would like to remind my Prime Minister here in Trinidad and Tobago is that at this point in time, you have broken the trust of a lot of people. People that really believed that you would have made a difference. You are making a difference in a lot of ways. I'm commending you for that. But we are talking about how you ended up raising the taxes and fees and fines and so forth, because and allowing Tanku to do that, Zakur to do that. And this Minister of Homeland Security that you have, that continues to act more like a police officer than a Minister of Homeland Security. You need to try and resolve these issues. Place that man, Roger Alexander, in a different ministry, in a junior position. Also replace Tanku as Minister of Finance. Get someone that will actually adopt Republican-style capitalist policies lower taxes, lower regulations, things that will boost the economy and encourage foreign companies to invest in Trinidad and Tobago. Madam Prime Minister, I want the UNC to win again in 2030, but you have to make things right.
Strong institutions operate on the basis of trust. And part of the duty of this chamber and the members of this chamber is to ensure that we not just operate for today, but that we operate looking squarely and firmly to the future for the governance of this institution, so as to protect the integrity and the trust that this institution requires of us, particularly on the basis of the electorate that we all represent across this country.
Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honorable Chester Cooper, is encouraging Bahamians to position themselves to take fuller advantage of expanding opportunities within the cruise tourism sector. Remember, that's what those islands depend on, tourism, in order to generate revenue. The Bahamas recently recorded 12.5 million visitor arrivals. Wow! With cruise passengers accounting for a significant portion of that growth across Nassau, Freeport, Bimini, Eleuthera, and the Berry Islands. That level of visitation represents tremendous opportunity, Mr. Cooper said. It represents jobs, entrepreneurship, innovation, and room for Bahamians to expand their footprint within the tourism economy. How much people visit Trinidad on a yearly basis, right? While acknowledging the strong and long-standing partnership between the Bahamas and its cruise partners, the Deputy Prime Minister said the focus must now be on ensuring that Bahamian businesses are well-positioned to benefit from continued growth. International news now. President Donald Trump now holds the modern era record for the longest State of the Union address, surpassing President Bill Clinton's 2000 speech. The State of the Union is the president's annual address to Congress and the country, which operates as equal parts of progress report, agenda blueprint, and political measuring stick for what comes next. Trump's speech largely focused on the economy and turning a page to usher in the golden age where America becomes great and powerful again, the leader of the entire world, people, until, of course, when the 7-year tribulation takes place, when most likely Europe will take lead. After just 1 year, I can say, that's the Trump was saying this, after just 1 year, I can say with dignity and pride that we have achieved a transformation like no one has ever seen before. Trump declared from the dais Tuesday evening. Now for the interesting facts segment, Chinese researchers have achieved a massive environmental breakthrough by inventing a process that turns loose desert sand into stable, fertile soil in just 10 to 16 months. Try to do something about the Sahara Desert, please. Developed by the Chinese Academy of Sciences, the technique relies on ancient lab-grown bacteria, photosynthetic microbes that have survived in harsh environments for thousands of years. When sprayed over sand dunes arranged with straw checkerboards, these microbes grow and secrete sticky sugars that physically bind the loose grains together, acting like a natural glue. Within a year, this microbial mesh hardens into a biological soil crust that drastically transforms the landscape. Not only does this crust reduce wind-driven soil loss and sand erosion by more than 90%, but the bacteria also pull nitrogen directly from the air, naturally fertilizing the ground. As the microbes trap essential nutrients and moisture near the surface, they create a perfect foundational layer that allows larger plants, shrubs, and grasses to finally take root and survive without being destroyed by harsh winds or extreme heat. Closing off now with a travel segment. Vienna, Austria's imperial capital on the Danube River, is a well-renowned, high quality of life city celebrated for its stunning hubs, burg palaces, historic Baroque architecture, and vibrant coffee house culture. I love coffee. Can't really drink it that much, but I love coffee. As the former home of Mozart and Beethoven, it is a city of music, offering premier opera, museums, and a magical Christmas market scene. Wow, I would love to see that. As a UNESCO World Heritage Site, the city skillfully blends tradition with a contemporary, vibrant lifestyle, making it a top year-round destination for art, history, and culinary enthusiasts. Folks, that brings us to the end of today's headline news. Thanks again to everyone who continues to support my content. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Stay blessed and stay safe most of all. In Jesus' name.